So, today we try to understand the spiritual significance of Surya in Jyotish. Surya has been defined by many terms. What we are going to understand in the basics of this particular planet in this lecture is about Surya himself. What are the significations of it? How exactly does it rule the solar system? What else can we gain from Surya? ततो युद्ध परिश्रांतम समरे चिंतया स्थितम रावणम चाग्रतो दृष्ट्वा युद्धाय समुपस्थितम. What this means is, it's explaining that Bhagwan Ram, is lost in the thought on the battlefield, preparing himself to get ready to battle with Ravan. When we talk about Sri Ram, so we can symbolically relate it with our individual soul, the Jivatma. When we are trying to walk on the path of righteousness, on the path of Dharma, there are certain Ravan which resists us, which resists our journey towards the ultimate source. Ravan here is the ego, the arrogance, the attachment, and the tamas. And Sri Ram is our soul walking towards the path of righteousness. In Jyotish, Surya represents the inner light of clarity, हमारी बुद्धि जिसे हम बोलते हैं. It also represents the willpower, the इच्छा शक्ति, and the vitality of our soul, of ourselves. When we are confused, when we feel that yes, there is a battle ahead, बहुत सारे काम हमको करने हैं लाइफ में, बहुत सारे स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्रेस बाकी है हमारी लाइफ में, तो वी मूव टूवर्ड्स धर्म. वे टू गो, किससे मांगे वो शक्ति, वो क्लैरिटी और वो ऊर्जा. We go to the source of our being. We go to the source of our solar system. We go to pray to the Lord Surya. You know, Surya की ऊर्जा से there were three special things which were carved out by Vishwakarma himself. पहला था सुदर्शन चक्र, दूसरा त्रिशूल और तीसरा पुष्पक विमान. क्योंकि इन तीनों में सूर्य की ऊर्जा है, तो ये कहीं ना कहीं कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स भी दिखाते हैं सूर्य के. सुदर्शन चक्र is something which destroys the illusion. The story of creation of Rahu and Ketu describes this Sudarshan Chakra and its capabilities in a very good manner. ये ना आपका इल्यूजन को खत्म करता है, ये काटता है सूर्य. तो सूर्य की ऊर्जा इल्यूजन्स को डिस्ट्रॉय करती है, अविद्या को डिस्ट्रॉय करती है. जहां पे भी लाइट होगी, इट डिस्ट्रॉयज द डार्कनेस. सिमिलरली त्रिशूल की जो ऊर्जा है वो आपकी इच्छा शक्ति को रिजेंबल करती है, को सिंबलाइज करती है. व्हेन यू हैव सो मच ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ beside you, you have a trishul beside you. That means you can balance your sattva, rajas and tamas, the trinity within you, within yourselves. This is where the self-awareness part comes into play. वो self-awareness हमको सूर्य देता है, उसकी ऊर्जा देती है. Also, the पुष्पक विमान, this is used for movement, right? When we have so much of energy, we want to go to the higher spiritual planes. So सूर्य की ये जो ऊर्जा है for uplifting us towards the higher planes of energy, towards the higher planes of spirituality, this symbolizes pushpak viman. Now another shlok which is very important to understand Surya is this Sarva Mangalya Mangalyam, Sarva Papa Pranashanam. अब यहाँ पे सूर्य के बारे में क्या बोला गया है? It has been said that Surya is the most auspicious. It is the destroyer of all the sins. It removes any kind of anxiety and sorrow, and it gives you longevity and health. As the creator of this solar system, everything is sustained by Surya's light. The light of Surya, it is very energizing. इसी की वजह से हमारी अर्थ में फोटोसिंथेसिस होता है. A major part of Surya's light is used to convert light into food by the ecosystem, right? The plants and all that stuff. So Surya is the source of प्राण itself. सूर्य की ऊर्जा, सूर्य की light also represents the Agni within us. The metabolic activities are powered by Surya. Without sun, the life cannot sustain. Surya also rules the sign of Leo, which naturally represents the liver part of our body. And the bile in the liver, bile formation, the bile juice in the liver is represented by Surya's urja, Surya's energy. Okay? There are different roles of Surya. बहुत अलग अलग तरीके से सूर्य की ऊर्जा हमें हेल्प करती है. The most important part is this shloka which says एष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवः स्कंदः प्रजापति है. यहाँ पे सूर्य को ब्रह्मा, विष्णु और शिव तीनों की ऊर्जा को रिजेंबल करते हुए दिखाया है. You know, when we start the day, sun rises, it gives us the light, it gives us the motivation to work, it gives us that, it tells us that the day has begun. Beginning or initiation is the role of Brahma. When the sun starts the day, it symbolizes in the early hours of day, it is Lord Brahma. Because we cannot worship Brahma, so we worship Lord Surya during the sunrise. We worship or pray to the Creator Himself. During the latter part of the day, where all of the activities happen, life moves, it is the part where the sustenance comes into play. It sustains the energy of the day, of the midday, which is symbolic to the role of Lord Vishnu, the sustainer. And when the sun sets, the day ends. सारे creatures, सारे पक्षी, पशु, सब लोग अपने घर वापस लौट जाते हैं. The day ends. The ends is represented by Lord Shiva. It is the symbolic representation of Lord Shiva. So this is how Surya plays the role of Lord Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. So the next line says Mahendro Dhanadah Kalo. यहाँ पे धनदह का मतलब है कुबेर. आपकी कुंडली में सूर्य represents the source of wealth as well. It gives you the wealth, not just material, but spiritual one as well. It gives you intelligence. It gives you the spiritual insights. What does that mean? It means that The ultimate source of wealth in a kundali has to be Surya. Without Surya, you cannot have money. You cannot have the resources to sustain this life. Shukra is all good and fine, but the source has to be a strong Surya. When the Surya is strong in the chart, money flows. And by the end of this shloka, it is said that moon is also the representation, or moon is also dependent on the sun for its light. Let's move on to the next shloka, which says that Aditya or Surya represents the soul, the Atma. The word Savita used here comes from the root su. Su is to generate something or to give birth. And Savita is the generating force, the life giver. When we use the word Surya, it means something which shines. So the Surya is described as something which shines. In our material world, it is the visible form of any kind of divine truth. किसी भी चीज को देखने के लिए we need light, and the source of that light is Surya. कर्म आए भी सूर्य से ही है. The 12 आदित्यास which we are going to talk about, उनसे ही ये कर्म बने हैं, ये कर्म अलॉट हुए हैं. So Surya tries to purify wherever it sits in. Okay? It is also said that Surya is the lord of all the nakshatras, planets and other stars, and the creator and the nourisher of the universe. Because it is so radiant that when sun is present, you cannot see anything else in the sky. So the brightness of sun is so prevalent that it tries to overpower everything which comes nearby it. When we'll talk about the concept of combustion, this particular phenomena or this particular quality of Surya is going to be very important. The ending of the shloka says Dwadashatman. It refers to Surya as somebody who has 12 forms. The 12 forms kya hai wo? These are the 12 zodiacs, the 12 Adityas of Surya. अलग अलग आदित्य अलग अलग तरीके से फंक्शन करता है और अलग अलग राशियों में अपने कर्म को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करता है. ओके. In the Gayatri mantra, when we chant Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam, we pray to Lord Surya. In this shloka, it is written Namah Savitre. Savitra, it's the Vedic name given to sun. By definition, the meaning of word Savitra is something which is very divine and helps us awaken within. The meaning of word Savitra is the divine principle of awakening. Okay, the idea of awakening itself, the process of awakening itself is the Savitra. And Surya is the visible sun, which is what we see, the physical manifestation of Savitra. So Savitra has to be the invisible intelligence behind everything that shines, every kind of illumination. So it represents in a way or the other our soul, the intelligence. So when we say Namah Savitre, we are not just going to a physical body or existence, but to the conscious force that awakens all of us from any kind of tamas or darkness. We all know that sun has 7 types of rays. Okay, here it is explained that sun has 7 horses. These horses are the 7 rays of sun, the 7 colors in the light. These 7 rays of sun also symbolizes different stuff. First is what we call the Gayatri, is the sound and the speech, the mantras. Second is Brihati, the intelligence. Third one is energy. Fourth is movement. Fifth is stability. Sixth is rhythm. And the seventh one is nourishment. ये सारे रोल्स हैं सूर्य के. To give intelligence, to provide energy, to provide nourishment, to give a rhythm to the seasons, to rhythm to the life, to give a stability to life, to keep things moving, to keep things alive. These all are the 7 significations of Surya. Now, because we talked about that Surya is the source of all creation, here it is mentioned that Surya destroys everything as well. जब हमारा सोलर सिस्टम खत्म होने को होगा ना, तो सन एज अ स्टार keeps on expanding. Okay, it expands first. It keeps on expanding, and when it will reach to a certain extent, जहां पे ये पूरे सोलर सिस्टम को ही अपने अंदर ले लेगा. That means with the passage of time, sun is something which will destroy the solar system as well. It becomes the wheel of sansar. It will sustain through the karmas it has given you in this lifetime, and when those are over, it will destroy you through death. The point to note here is रुचये लोक साक्षिणे. It explains कि इन सब के बीच में सूर्य लोक यानी कि हम सब को, हमारे लोक को देखता रहता है, ऑब्जर्व करता रहता है. That means Surya, which is a symbolic representation of Atma will keep on seeing everything as an observer. So Atma will not be destroyed. Only the body will be. How beautiful is this, right? Vedic times, what used to happen is we used to pray for rains, crops, offsprings, and all that stuff. So any kind of ritual is also governed by Surya. What does that mean? It means that if you want anything, you have to pray to Lord Surya first. It means that if there are any Raj Yogas present in your Kundali, then those can be activated by a good Surya only. Surya has to support any kind of Raj Yogas to fructify in your life. Without it, no ritual is complete. Without it, no outcome will be gained. Okay? So that is the importance of Surya in your Kundali, in your chart. Now look at this particular Yani Krityani Lokeshu part. It explains that whatever actions are to be done in the world, कुछ भी आपको करना है, these includes 3 kind of responsibilities or duties. One is the material responsibility, which is nurturing of family, relationships, and earning wealth and all that stuff, which we do in our daily life as to sustain. Second is the moral duties, हमारा धर्म, the social service part which we do, the righteousness which we display. These are all the moral duties of a human being. Third one is the spiritual part, where we pray to God, where we go to pilgrimages, where we have a disciplined lifestyle so that we can thank or be grateful to the God for whatever it has given us. So all of these actions are also governed by Surya. The better your Surya, the better you will be at all of these things as well. In the upcoming sessions, we will try to understand sun in different houses. And that is when we will understand the role of Adityas of Surya. हर भाव में सूर्य कैसे रिजल्ट देता है, सूर्य का क्या गोल होता है. It defines your soul's purpose. It defines the urja. It defines the source of light in your chart. We'll discuss more about that. So Hare Krishna, until next time we meet and discuss more amazing facts about Surya as a planet, as a graha, and as a spiritual entity.